Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into something huge, the gig economy. It's one of the most exciting, maybe fastest growing parts of modern work life. Our mission here really is to give you the tools, the strategies to really make freelance work pay off, build something sustainable by, say, 2025. And it's that kind of aha moment, isn't it? You realize, okay, the old 9 to 5, that's just not the only game in town anymore. We're seeing so many people like embracing the freedom, the flexibility, writers, designers, coders, VAs, you name it.
Yeah, and it's fascinating why now is really the moment to jump in. It's
Right.
not just tech in general. It's more about these mature concepts, things like distributed trust really taking hold, think blockchain for payments, making things transparent, or AI helping match projects, even legal tech smoothing out global contracts. These aren't just like abstract ideas anymore. They're
Yeah.
genuinely making it easier for companies,
Yeah.
easier for them to trust and actually use remote freelancers for, well, core stuff. And you absolutely have to mention the pandemic's role in all this. It was massive. It basically forced so many businesses online, created this huge surge in demand for freelance skills. Digital marketing, graphic design, app development, boom.
Right, a real acceleration. So the goal for this deep dive is clear. Guide you through, 7 key steps, 7 key moves to build that solid income in this new gig world. Okay, so let's start with step 1. Understand the shift in the gig economy. Why is really getting this foundation so important before you even think about clients?
Well, because in 2025, freelancing,
Hmm.
it's just completely moved past being, a few odd jobs for extra cash.
Yeah.
It's absolutely solidified into a legitimate full-time career for millions of people all around the world. That mix of tech getting better and the pandemic pushing everything digital, it means companies are now actively looking for specialized freelance talent. And they see it as a strategic thing, a core part of how they operate, not just some temporary fix or only about saving costs.
That's a really important point. It's not just a side hustle anymore for many.
Not at all. It's a primary career path, a fundamental shift in how work works.
So it's less about just finding gigs and more about positioning yourself inside this completely new way businesses are operating, a different mindset needed.
Okay, so once you get your head around that landscape shift, the next obvious question is, well, where do I fit? Which takes us straight to step 2. Identify your marketable skills. And it's more than just, what am I good at, right? It's what problem can I solve that someone will pay for? Exactly that. The freelancers who are really succeeding now, they're not just offering like generic writing or design. What we're seeing is specialization. So instead of just web design, maybe it's conversion-optimized landing pages for sustainable e-commerce brands. See the difference?
Oh, yeah. Much more specific.
Right. It targets a very specific need in a niche that's growing. It makes your offer compelling. It's a solution, not just a skill. And you see this across the board. High demand areas include things like advanced data analysis, really nuanced content strategy, even super specialized virtual event moderation.
So you look at what you can already do, sure, but then you refine it. Package it as a high-value, specific service that solves a particular client headache. That's power.
Totally transforms your potential.
Okay, so you know your niche, you know your solution. How do you actually connect with clients? Step 3, leverage freelance platforms. This seems like one of the quickest ways in, doesn't it?
They're definitely a key starting point, yeah. The big names, Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, they're still huge. But what's interesting is how much they've evolved by 2025. They're more sophisticated. It's not just better search filters. Some are using machine learning to look at things like sentiment in reviews, your project history, even the tone of your profile. The goal is to predict not just if you have the skills, but if you're a good, cultural fit for the client, which leads to better outcomes for everyone.
That's fascinating. Predicting cultural fit?
Yeah, it's getting quite advanced. But crucially, don't just stick to the big ones. That's a mistake. The real strategic move in 2025, especially for specialized skills, is looking at niche sites. TopTal, for example, still great for top-end developers, finance pros. They pre-vet talent. Then you got 99 Designs for creative work, logos, branding. And for writers, maybe ProBlogger Jobs or Contina, these often have higher paying, more substantial projects than the general platforms.
Right. So it's not just about casting the widest net, but finding the right pond where your specific expertise is really valued. Strategic placement.
Precisely. Quality over just quantity of potential leads.
Makes sense. Okay. Skills identified, platforms explored. Next up, step 4, build your personal brand. Why is this so vital now? It feels like it goes beyond just having a profile, doesn't it? Some might just say it's, self-promotion.
That's a fair challenge. And look, in a market that's getting more crowded, more transparent, How do you stand out? Authentically, I mean. It's not just about shouting the loudest, positioning yourself as a thought leader. That sounds a bit buzzwordy, maybe. But what it really means is consistently sharing genuine insights, offering unique perspectives in your field, building real authority. So when people need a solution in your area, they think of you, your name, not just the service category.
So it's about earning trust before they even talk to you.
Exactly. Demonstrating value upfront. What the sources really stress is building that solid online presence. That means having your own website, or at least a really polished portfolio. Don't just list what you do. Show your best work. Use case studies that prove client success. Detail your unique value. And then, use social media smartly. LinkedIn is obvious for many, maybe Instagram or X, depending on your field. The key is regularly sharing useful stuff. Articles, tips, tutorials, things that genuinely help your audience and position you as someone who knows their stuff. It helps avoid that race to the bottom on price.
Right, so the brand is your reputation, your authority. It's how you differentiate on value, not just cost. Invaluable in a competitive space.
Absolutely critical.
Okay, moving on. You're getting some traction, maybe landing projects. Now come two challenges that trip up so many freelancers. Step 5, mastering time management and setting rates. It's easy to see how deadlines slip without a boss looking over your shoulder, right? What's a key tactic here?
Oh, absolutely. You're suddenly the CEO, the project manager, the admin assistant, all rolled into one. Structure is your friend, even small routines. Tools like Trello, Asana, Notion are great starting points. But beyond just listing tasks, the advanced play now might involve using AI features within these tools. Some can now spot dependencies between tasks, flag potential bottlenecks, even suggest optimal times to work based on your own tracked productivity. It turns time management into something more data-driven.
Interesting. Using data to manage your own time.
Yeah. And then there's setting rates. This is a big one, so tricky, especially when you're starting out. The main advice, try to shift away from just thinking hourly. Think about value-based pricing.
Value-based. Explain that a bit more.
Well, you research what others charge, sure, that's your baseline. Then focus on the impact your work has. If that landing page you designed increases your client's sales by, say, 20%, that's worth way more to them than just the hours you put in.
Ah, I see.
So you price your services to reflect that significant result you deliver. Not just the time spent clicking the mouse. It often means offering tiered packages based on value.
That makes a ton of sense. Price the outcome, not just the input. These practical skills, time management, smart pricing, they're like the engine room for keeping a freelance career going, aren't they?
Couldn't agree more. They're foundational for sustainability.
Okay, let's shift gears to growth. Step 6, expand your client base. You've got some initial success, but how do you scale up? Ensure things are stable long term.
Yeah, this is about moving beyond just the first few wins. It's really about proactive relationship building and diversifying. Relying too heavily on just one platform, or worse, just one big client, that's risky. We've all heard stories.
Definitely. Puts all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. So the advice is .network actively, online, offline, wherever your potential clients are. Don't be afraid to reach out directly to companies or people you think you can help. And crucially, nurture your existing client relationships. Ask them for referrals. If you've done good work, people are often happy to recommend you to their contacts. It's incredibly powerful.
So less waiting for work to come to you, more actively seeking it out and building connections?
Precisely. Because look, the freelance world in 2025, it is more competitive. Standing out is essential. So yes, strategically pitch your services. Build genuine relationships. Focus on delivering exceptional value every single time. That's what makes clients stick with you and recommend you. It's about becoming a trusted partner.
Right. Shifting from just chasing projects to building a sustainable business through relationships and proactive outreach, that feels like the key to real growth.
It absolutely is.
All right, that brings us to our final point, step 7. Stay adaptable and invest in your growth. This feels like the ultimate long-term strategy, especially given how fast the gig economy changes.
It really is the capstone, isn't it? You just have to accept that the landscape is constantly shifting. Technologies change, client needs evolve, new platforms emerge. So staying on top of trends isn't just like a nice to do, it's vital for staying relevant.
What does that look like in practice?
It could mean learning new software that gives you an edge. Maybe it's refining your marketing approach because algorithms changed, or simply deepening your existing expertise to meet new, more complex demands. It's about trying to anticipate what's next, rather than just reacting to what already happened. Being proactive about your skill set.
And investing in yourself.
Yes. That's a huge part of it. Taking specialized courses, getting certifications that actually mean something in your field, even just dedicating regular time to read industry reports, follow key thinkers. Basically, you have to commit to lifelong learning. And here's the thing. No one's ever done learning in the gig economy. It's not a ladder you climb and then stop.
It's more like a constantly evolving garden you have to tend.
That's a great analogy. Yeah, it's a self-designed ecosystem you're always cultivating.
So the real secret sauce isn't just knowing stuff, it's how fast you can learn, adapt, maybe even reinvent yourself. That's a pretty profound shift in how we think about a career.
It really is. Adaptability is the new job security, in a way.
Wow. Okay, so that's our 7 strategic shifts for really thriving in the gig economy by 2025. It's clear freelancing offers amazing freedom, huge earning potential, but as we've laid out, real success. It takes strategy, serious self-discipline, and yeah, almost an entrepreneurial mindset to build your own thing.
Absolutely. And if we just pull back for a final thought, you connect this to the bigger picture. This constant need for adaptability, for continuous learning that's baked into the gig economy. What does that imply for the whole idea of a career path? Or even job security, not just for freelancers, but maybe for everyone in the coming years. That's something important, I think, for you, the listener, to chew on as you navigate your own professional life.
A really powerful question to end on, something that definitely stretches beyond just freelancing. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We hope these insights give you some solid ground to explore further on your own journey.